He goes to Vancouver. 15, Raphael Lavoie. This big, strong scorer, just lighting it up for the Halifax Mooseheads in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He's a gifted scorer, a natural scorer. They haven't had a guy like this that I think could reach this level since Stéphane Richer. That's how good I think Raphael Lavoie can be. So now we go to the Ottawa Senators.
Highlight reel goals. The Montreal Canadiens have the 15th overall pick, and this is probably the most unsure pick in the lottery. There's so many different directions the Habs could go. They could either trade this pick, they could draft Ryan Suzuki, the brother of Habs prospect Nick Suzuki. They could also possibly draft a defenseman like Harley, Hanola, or Broberg. But I have them drafting French-Canadian Raphael Lavoie. He is 6'4", 200 pounds, and would add great defense, grit, physicality, and good finishing in front of the net to this team. He also has a great shot and can play center or on the wing. And you know that the Habs really like their French Canadians, and they really like grit on their team. So I think that this is a match made in heaven.
For Montreal, if he's still available for a lot of reasons, I think they need to pick this guy up. Because if they pick him up, there's another player they have. I think that could raise both of their games, even more so than if they're playing elsewhere, right? So for Montreal, everybody knows me. They should know it's Ryan Suzuki. Ryan Suzuki he's a center from Barrie of the OHL. Could be better than Nick. Great hockey sense, vision, and playmaking skills. A strong skater. See, that's something that Nick is weak on a little bit, is his skating, apparently. So I think, you pick up Ryan Suzuki, and it makes both brothers a little bit better. I mean, who doesn't want to play with their brother on an NHL team? I mean, come on. As long as you don't hate your brother. But okay, so now if he's not available, I thought of a couple of other candidates that might be available at that point. So I'm looking at, and I had them in the previous video, which is the one I'm going to put up that I can't remember the damn name on. Cam York, defenseman from the USA under-18. He's a left-hand shot, 5'11", 175, power play quarterback. Ville Heinola, defense, Lukko in Finland. Playmaking abilities, 5'11", 178, plays in all situations, good hockey sense, and patience. And if they're not picked yet, maybe Philip Broberg or Thomas Harley, if they're available still. But I kind of doubt that they will be. Anyways, we're right.
Arizona taking Newhook there. Is a great pick, honestly. And finally, at number 15 here, the Montreal Canadiens. Now, this was a tough one. I wasn't really sure where to go here. But I feel like if at number 15, Raphael Lavoie is still on the board, Montreal is not going to be able to help themselves here. And they're going to have to take Lavoie. Obviously, a French-Canadian. Very good player, too. I've seen him ranked as high as, I think 5 this year at certain points. Kind of slipped a bit, then came back up a bit. He's having a very good playoff, though, for the Mooseheads, which is definitely helping his draft stock. And again, I feel like the Canadians are not going to be able to help themselves. So there's a really good French-Canadian available at 15. I feel like they're going to take him. Personally, I think they need a defenseman more. If I was their GM, I'd probably go with Thomas Harley or Cam York. Both left-handed defensemen, which they honestly need more than a righty. They already have Weber, Petrie, Juleson all down the right side. Harley's a bit more of an all-around defenseman. York's a bit more offensive. But yeah, for me, they need a left-handed defenseman more than anything. But you are supposed to just take the best player available in the draft, which honestly might be Lavoie, which is why I think if he is the best player available at that point, and he's a French-Canadian, Montreal is going to pull the trigger 100%. So I do think he's a good pick for Montreal number 15, but if I was now to be making sure I get a defenseman in the next round, just to kind of make sure I cover all my bases, but that is
at
it,
the
guys.
15th spot, the Montreal Canadiens select Thomas Harley. The 6'3" left-handed defenseman is a playmaker and offensive D. He moves the puck up the ice really well with his decent speed and great agility. He thrives in the offensive zone with his excellent lateral movement and playmaking abilities. He has a great vision which helps him distribute the puck well and read the play quickly to make decisions with the puck. Very impressive puck skills and wrist shot too. He drives the play in the offensive end. Harley still needs to improve his defensive game, but with all this potential offensively and progression he has made this year, you just can't pass
Don't miss anything. So a lot has changed, and many of these players in the NHL draft this year have had a chance to showcase their skills in various formats here, whether it be playoffs or the under-18 Worlds, since we last did a mock draft. So a fair bit has changed with some of these player rankings. So let's dive in here and take a look at my new updated top 15 picks. Getting started with the number 15 selection, which belongs to the Montreal Canadiens. Now, I do have the Montreal Canadiens selecting from the Halifax Mooseheads, Raphael Lavoie. Now, I think Raphael Lavoie would be an excellent choice for the Habs. He's got good size. He's 6'4". He can play center and he can play wing. So it's hard to say exactly what he's going to be at the NHL level. But Raphael Lavoie is having himself right now one heck of a Memorial Cup tournament with the Halifax Mooseheads, putting his skills on display, which has certainly, in my opinion, helped his case here for solidifying him in the top 15 for the 2019 NHL draft. He's got great speed, an excellent shot. He protects the puck well and has been a huge part of that team's success. I do think as well the fact that he is French Canadian certainly blends in well with being a Montreal Canadian as well. The Montreal Canadiens certainly do have a lot of skill right now in their forward group, but one thing that they are missing is some size. I do think that they do need some size up front, and he can bring that along with the skill and be a center or a winger as well. If Montreal didn't go with a pick like Lavoie, for example, I can see them maybe looking to a defenseman like a Thomas Harley, who I would expect them to go somewhere in that 15 to 20 range likely in this draft. But I just think Lavoie is the better fit here, really going to help solidify that forward group. Next up at number 14, we have the Arizona...